To open a data room, log into DealCockpit and click on New Deal. Pick your plan and billing frequency. Then provide your invoice details for yourself or for a third party. Select your payment method and click on Review My Order Details. Accept the T&Cs and privacy policy and confirm your order. You can now customize the details of your data room and activate any modules you may need. Click on Create and your data room is ready to go. To create your data room structure and upload documents, you have the option to build the data room from a zip file by clicking on Actions. Select your file or drag it into the upload window, and your index will be created automatically. You can modify this index at any time by dragging the sections to the desired position. Otherwise, create your sections manually with a right-click on the part of the structure for which you wish to create a subsection. Name your section and choose which groups will have access to it. To create groups and configure permissions, click on Data Room, then Groups and Users. Here you'll find 3 default groups with predefined roles that you can now edit. Your co-administrators will have the same rights as you unless you modify them. By default, they have access to all sections of the data room. Contributors will be able to add to the parts of the data room to which you have granted them access. This role is often attributed to juniors, analysts, or external contributors. Adjust their permission level as needed. Users will be your shareholders, potential investors, or buyers. We strongly advise always enabling the dynamic watermark, which embeds user identification directly into the files viewed or downloaded, making distribution traceable even if the documents leave the controlled environment. You can add as many groups as you need for your operation to run smoothly, no matter the role. Determine their access rights on a granular level in Section Access. In order to invite users, you first have to activate your data room. Click on the name of your data room, then, in the Status menu, select Active, and save your changes. Now, you'll be able to add users. Go to Groups and Users, then click Add in the Users window. Type in the email address of the person you wish to invite, and select the group to which you would like to attribute them. For them to immediately receive their email invitation, check the box next to Send an invitation after submission. Check Reload this form afterwards to add multiple users manually. You also have the option to add users in bulk. Upload an Excel or CSV file with the email addresses of your users. Then select their group and whether you want to send them an invitation right away. If you want to prepare the data room with your client and/or collaborators, add them to your activated data room, then deactivate it and add your list of users without them having access yet. As soon as your VDR is ready, activate it and send invitations to your users by checking the box next to their email address, then click on Selection and Invite. If you want to require signature of an NDA or other legal document before granting users access to your data room, simply activate the Legal Document/NDA module in your data room settings. Upload your document and, if needed, enter a customized message that will be displayed to users. Remember to save your changes. If you'd like to apply the same generic document to all your data rooms, go to My Templates in your profile. Upload your document and enter a message, then click on Save. In your data room settings, you can then click on Load Template and Save, and your template document will be displayed to the users of this data room. When a user logs into your data room, they will be required to read the entirety of the document before being able to accept it. Their consent will be timestamped and their IP address recorded for traceability purposes. All consent activity can be consulted in Consent History. Click on Details for more exhaustive information. If, rather than sending invitations by email, you wish to distribute a link or QR code to your data room, you can generate an external access link. You will find it in Groups and Users. Click on Generate Access Link, then adjust the parameters by clicking Edit. If needed, enter domains you wish to block, or accepted domains if you want to only authorize certain domains. You can now copy the link for distribution, or even download and print the QR code. By opening the link, your users can log in and will be directed to a waiting room until you verify their access. Access requests will appear in the link window. Click on the arrow and find them under Requests to Process. Now you can either reject requests by specifying a reason, or approve users and assign them to one of your groups. You can change the approval status of users at any time by clicking on All Access Requests. Approved users can be found along with your other users in the Users window, and you can continue your process as usual. You can redact documents directly in DealCockpit by clicking on the redaction icon next to the file in question. Search for the words you want to redact on the current page or across all pages. Otherwise, simply drag rectangles across the areas you would like to be hidden. You can adjust the size of the hidden areas at any time or delete them. Preview the redacted document to make sure all sensitive information has been adequately masked. You can now replace the original document with the redacted version. You can easily track every user's activity in your data room thanks to our audit trail. This system is compartmentalized by group for a better general overview. By clicking through the tabs, you will, according to each user, see precisely which action they have executed, on which file, at what time, and from which IP address. This user, for example, has downloaded Accounts 2025, February 23rd at 4:15 p.m. from this IP address. You can also consult all actions by your contributors and co-administrators. Don't forget to export this audit trail before closure of your data room. It creates an immutable record that extends beyond transaction close and supports any subsequent investigation or dispute. You can manage all communication related to your transaction via our Q&A. Users of your data room can either add a new question directly to the Q&A or ask a question related to a specific file. When a question is asked, you and your co-administrators will be notified directly by email, and a small icon will appear next to Q&A. Depending on the question, you have several options: answer and publish, delegate, and refuse. To answer and publish, you have the option to generalize the subject of the question for clarity for all your users. Enter your answer, choose to whom you want it to be published, and click Publish. If you want to delegate the question, select a co-administrator or a contributor, then the person or persons responsible for validating the response. You can choose up to 3 validators. If you are the final validation point, the response will appear in awaiting approval. If you validate it, it will be published. Otherwise, you can write a comment that the person who answered it will receive via email. The question will be resubmitted to the defined approval flow. If a question is refused, for example, if it is a duplicate, the user who asked it will be notified by email. You can view and restore processed questions at any time if changes are necessary or if you wish to check the response process. Questions can be sorted by priority, user, or any other category, depending on your specific needs. The module can also be exported in its entirety before deal closure. Before closing your data room, remember to download it and export the Q&A and audit trail. To do so, click on Actions and download Data Room. A link will be sent to you by email as soon as the download is ready. You will also find it in Download History. You can then export your entire Q&A and audit trail by going to each of the modules and clicking on Export.